Hello Stings, in this video we will be looking at zero exponents and negative exponents. A raised to the zero power is simply 1. So any number or variable raised to the zero power is going to be 1. So 5 to the zero power, 1. B to the zero power, 1. A large number to the zero power, simply 1. Now we do have a situation down here where we don't have a 5 being raised to the 0, we just have this x, but that is being multiplied by this 5. So since the 5 isn't being raised to the 0 power, it's going to stay at 5. We're going to have 2 steps to do here. X to the 0 power is 1. So what you end up with here is 5 times 1. Well, 5 times 1 is simply 5. So the 0 power here only applied to the x, not the 5. To apply the 0 power to more than one item, we have to put those items in parentheses. So now this whole thing is being raised to the 0 power. So that whole thing is simply 1. So now we have negative exponents. We have 2 situations here. We can have an a being raised to a negative power, which means we're going to write this as a fraction, where we now make the n a positive, but we put the a to the n in the denominator. If the negative power is already in the denominator, then it moves up to the numerator, and again it becomes positive. So the negative sign just tells us to change its location. If it's in a numerator, it goes to the denominator as a positive. If the negative exponent is in the denominator, it moves to the numerator as a positive exponent. So here are 3 examples. 3 to the negative 2 means that we're going to make that a fraction, 1 over 3 squared, and 3 squared is simply 9, so we get 1 over 9. Our next example, we have a negative exponent in the denominator. So that tells us to move that part into the numerator. So the 2 stays. We're going to move the x to the negative 3 up, but the 3, instead of being negative, will now be positive because we have moved it from the denominator to the numerator. In the last case, we have 11 times m to the negative 5. The negative 5 only applies to the m, not the 11. So the 11 is going to stay in the numerator, but this negative here tells us to move m to the positive 5 into the denominator. So basically, negative exponents tell us to change the location. If it's up, it goes down. If it's down, it goes up. And then the negative sign disappears once you have made that adjustment. And anything raised to the 0 power is simply 1.